All right. Welcome everybody to hello and welcome to today's NECC matches. I'm your play-by-play caster, Tanner Becky Rita Kinney, with my color caster. If you would like to introduce yourself. Oh, all right. All right, awesome. And today we will be seeing the New Jersey City University Gothic Knights go up against Adrian College Bulldogs. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. First match of the season for the Gothic Knights, which I'm sure the players are very nervous about. I'm also very nervous about it, but I wish them the best. And yeah, hopefully we get some good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that you bring the point of nervousness, and the fact that it's the first game of the season, because obviously it can happen that teams just enter the game really confidently and can just take it out really easily. But for other teams, it can be harder to execute because it's the first game of the season and it's a lot of pressure sometimes on them. So I hope that they don't face this kind of wall or that this kind of invisible wall that just blocks you from playing well because of how nervous you are. And I hope that it's not an issue in the long run for this team.
Gothic Knights have actually, since last season in the spring, they've basically revamped their entire League of Legends roster. Only one person carried over from their team that in the spring had an 8-2 record and got, I believe, fourth in their major tournament. And now they're starting with a whole fresh start, a lot of freshmen, and some people who've even just started playing the game within the past month. And they're climbing, they're leveling up, they're climbing, and they're learning as fast as I can. So these players have a Yeah, absolutely. You also don't pick up you also don't have any bad habits as a new player. You know, like I've been playing League for 11 years and I still call the Raptors Wraiths, you know. So it's like these are new players, and with good coaching, they can really start to grow and they can learn from these matches they have against teams like their opponents, Adrian College, who are also a relatively new all right, they're relatively new team. They were recently brought into the NECC and they have been scrimming, they've been practicing, and overall their team
They're not unconfident in how they want to play or how they would like to play, and the coaching staff is behind the players to be able to push them forward, there shouldn't be much of an issue, even if they play against teams that probably have better players or a higher elo players, but don't have a good team dynamics and good team environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also have to consider that from the perspective of these other teams who have more established rosters or more experienced players, they're expected to do well. So if they don't perform, that hurts them more than it would hurt the Gothic Knights. So the Gothic Knights have pretty much nothing to lose, while Adrian College has quite a bit they can lose. And pick bans are almost done, but do you have any expectations in terms of like what we can see in terms of champion picks or champion bans in these two games going forward?
The thing with champion picks, especially particularly at the start, is that there's two different things that may develop. One is either players just going for confidence with confident picks that they can play 100%, or just following blindly the meta. And for a team that is kind of new with players that are newer to the game, I think that going much more with confidence would be much more ideal than just blindly following the meta and trying to play around that. And I think that as long as the Knights can just follow for now at least, the creed of playing for what their players are capable of playing, and also trying to make a cohesive draft around those confident picks, then they should be fine. I'm not expecting anything like for example, AD carry wise, like a Jinx, Kalista that is really team reliant, things like that.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of ways to just try and put players on the confidence picks and play around that. I think that would be much more ideal.
Yeah, and of course, when I was looking through the Gothic Knights, their histories and the champions they're proficient in, I noticed that a lot of the players on the Gothic Knights have a character that they are fairly proficient in, at least one. That we're likely to see if it doesn't get banned. Like, for example, one of their newer players, Ellipse 3, their AD carry, plays a lot of Sivir. And we might, if Sivir doesn't get banned, we will probably end up seeing Sivir. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. We'll see some other comfort picks from the other players, like their jungler. I believe their jungler is Neon Sonic. He plays a lot of Warwick, and that will probably get banned, just because, I mean...
Yeah, it's such a niche pick that honestly, I think most teams would rather just ban it than try and play against it, because you really don't know what to expect around it because of how far and few there are in solo queue.
Yeah, and on the other side with Adrian College, their team is, their team has more experience, and also they have a lot of variety in the characters that they play. So it'll be hard to ban out Adrian College's players, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see specifically like Blitz and Nautilus. But we have picks and bans done, so if we can. Once we get these up on screen, we have them in front of us. I don't believe they will show up until
the game goes in.
Until the game goes in. So I believe on the wow, it's very small. Hold on, give me a moment. If you can see it, go ahead and start.
Yeah, no problem. Just talking a little bit about the picks, it's kind of what we expected with the potential comfort picks. But I do like the fact that that even though these are probably comfort picks, they are really okay meta picks to play around with. They are the Morgana and the Sivir. I think that even though it's not really common previously, I think right now it's much more meta focused, and it can be really useful in this game. I think that having that scaling champion in the bottom lane paired up with a mage that can poke around and have control of the lane can be really good. So overall, I really like the composition. I'm obviously worried about how the Warwick will work overall, but if they are able to work around the Warwick and make it useful in this game, it can be really good for the Knights. I'm really excited to see what they can do with this composition.
Yeah, and once I see the rosters again, because I forgot. Okay, there it is. For on the side of Adrian College, they all have also picked a fair bit of comfort on their side. Smirkins, their support, plays a lot of Nautilus. Their jungler plays a lot of Volibear, and we're gonna go into the game. So let's just we're gonna be starting with the Gothic City Knights on the blue team, and on the red team we have Adrian College. Let's get into the game.
Yep, this should be really, really, really exciting to see, certainly. And one quick thing that I wanted people to notice, it's the top lane matchup, particularly the Mordekaiser. He's going for Ignite. So he really wants to either get the kill really early on or fall behind. Because without a teleport, his impact all over the map is going to be really negligible in comparison to what the Wukong can do. So I really want to see if there's going to be focus going towards the top lane from the Warwick, or if they are just going to try and leave it as a 1v1 so that the Mordekaiser can get a solo kill early on.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see like Yone roam up or Warwick roam up to try and get some pressure up topside, because quite frankly, I do not believe that they're going to be playing through their bot side, just because Ellipse is such a new player and such... The mismatch in the bot lane is going to be really rough for them, quite frankly. So they just need to play safe. They need to dodge hooks. They need to get Sivir as farmed as possible, and they need to focus on getting a lead for either the Yone or the Mordekaiser. Yone, not Yone. That's not how you say that name.
That's fine. That's fine. I think that, like you're saying, the fact that the bottom lane is a much newer player is probably not one of the places that we will see focus. But and I also think that that's one of the reasons why they went with a Saber and a Morgana, two champions that can relatively well stay safe by their own, especially against the Nautilus, because you have the spell shield and the black shield as well. It can be really easy to dissuade any gank attempts or the attempt or any attempt from the Nautilus to get on top of you. So I really think that with this bottom lane, the idea is to leave them be safe alone down there, and then try and focus on the top side with the Yone.
Yeah,
and
we have some pressure. A hook coming down on the Morgana. She's going to be taking some pain here from the Tristana. A fully charged bomb detonates onto Christace, and Morgana, Christace is not feeling very good right now. You don't like to see that this early on. Tristana will have just complete control of the lane here. Ugh.
Yeah. That is really bad. Oh, wait,
and
again.
Another hook lands. Another explosive shot going down. Miss Morgana's going to have to flash there. The Ignite is used by Nautilus, but that's a summoner trade and a really good start from Adrian College in the bot lane.
Yeah, and this is not something that it's super surprising, because the combo from Nautilus and Tristana can do this. You get the hook, you get the bomb down, and it's a nice way to try and get pressure down there. But it's a level 2 spike that when that happens, oh, she's dead.
Oh no! Oh wait! She manages
she didn't
to
go in. Wow.
just barely get out. Tristana doesn't go in there. You don't. That's fine.
Strange.
It's a little bit of a strange decision, but probably maybe they wanted a safe play. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a trade going down between Silas and Yone. It's a pretty even trade. Not so bad.
Yeah, but I think the main problem is, if you look quickly down in the CS score, it's 15 CS to 3 of
got
the
a gank going in the
and
mid lane. Volibear is going to be drawing in for the
Whoops.
dash, the jump, and the slam with the stun. First blood for Adrian College.
Yeah, it is a double flash blown in the mid lane, but the Yone tried to go in with his seed to try and get the knockup, but the knockup ran out of time and he couldn't get anything. He had to go back, and because he has no vision, it's an easy gank setup for the Volibear. They get on top of the Yone, easy first blood, and also I was talking about the CS difference in the bottom lane, but in the mid lane as well, there's almost a 10 CS lead for the Sylas, so it's slowly but surely creating a gap between both lanes early on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's getting a little rough in the early game right now, especially as Volibear roam top to try and look for something, but nothing happening so far. Actually not going that bad for the Mordekaiser. In comparison to the other lanes, it's not going that bad at least. Warwick also doing pretty well, keeping up in farm. Not necessarily in pressure and tempo, but Warwick kind of can't gank until level 6. It's hard to. Oh, binding going down.
Good bind, but
hook returns, going to get the hook in, the slam down, but just a little bit of a trade there. Tristana firing back.
Yeah, it's a cute attempt to try and get and utilize the stun there from the Morgana, but don't get much. Warwick was coming down here, so
yeah,
it kind of blows a little bit of his tempo, because he's trying now to put pressure elsewhere. He doesn't get any Scuttlecrab, by the way. He got 2 Scuttlecrab, which means that he's behind. Yeah, he's a little behind.
Oh, the hook lands. Doesn't quite lead into anything. Actually, that wasn't a great trade for Nautilus there, and that's actually one of we got a no, that's just Volibear walking in. That's actually one of Smirkins' weaknesses. When I watched a scrim that they did, is Smirkins will take a lot of engage. He'll take every hook. Like, I respect that immensely as a support player, taking every single hook regardless of the consequences. But that's not always the smart decision. Sometimes you don't take the hook. Sometimes it's not necessary. Oh, a little bit of a trade. Stun going down. Nautilus has got a good roam. Going to land a hook on RV. RV's going to have to try and get out, but no flash. The Ignite's going to go down, and Silas is just going to finish this off. Chaggins and Smirkins taking down the Yone. A good roam on the side of Adrian College.
Yeah, taking advantage of the push in the bottom lane, and the fact that no response from the bottom lane to try and push or put pressure on the Tristana. He just gets a free roam into the mid lane, secures a kill, and because no flash on the mid lane, it was such an easy kill to secure. Now also Volibear coming down here. It's on they have vision of him, so there's no chance that they can get this. But overall, great plays by the side of Adrian College, moving around early on in the map, trying to put pressure on the lanes and putting their laners as far ahead as they can.
Yeah, that's great, and that's kind of what you have to do with this kind of skill discrepancy is you just got to push your advantages as players. And the hook goes
the
down
hook.
on the Warwick, gets caught out, but there's not a lot of follow-up unless Volibear decides to
Oh,
go in further. He doesn't have flash. A stun's going to go down. The CC chain works and have to flash out himself, but the
he's dead.
Silas with the chain max range takes down the Warwick. Now Yone's in danger,
What?
getting hooked. The nice spaghetti code there locks him down, but he manages to get over the wall. He's going to try and walk up through the mid lane.
don't think
Volibear's
they
going to
win
be
this.
chasing. Oh, but now there's a trade going bot lane. Silas is going to take down one player on his own, and RV's going to get shot down, going to get clawed down. Volibear does not carry a gun. He is a respectable gentleman.
Yeah, he just closed you down till you're dead, pretty much.
An
That's
actual a feral beast, but a gentle feral beast. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
going to be a few kills going over to Adrian College and the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, luckily Ellipse doesn't die, but a lot of kills going down, a lot of difference, and this just keeps putting the away the
Ooh,
top lane.
oh, we got Mordekaiser putting Wukong in the realm. The Ignite's going to go down. He's going to try and finish this kill off. The slam on him. A kill, as we thought, with this kill lane and the Ignite in the top lane, actually does end up in favor of Mordekaiser.
Yeah, finally being able to utilize the Ignite effectively and get the kill. I'm surprised Wukong, with the amount of time that he had to back and just come back with teleport, never used it to try and put to get advantage in the top lane. But it means that the Mordekaiser is able to find his window, get a solo kill, and at least get a little bit of gold back to his team, because the rest of the map is completely destroyed in comparison. And when you see the difference in mid lane, there's not that huge of a CS lead, but the kills are really in favor of the Sylas. But on the bottom lane, it's assist, plates, as well as CS in favor of the Tristana, and the Sivir is in a really tough spot at this point in the game.
Yeah, especially because Ellipse plays the lethality Sivir build rather than the crit Sivir, so she needs to start getting those items as fast as possible to start actually doing damage, because lethality Sivir deals more damage in the mid game, but your late game's a little bit weaker, in my experience with it. But she just got her tier, she's just started stacking it, she only has one longsword. It's really rough for the Sivir here to try and actually get things going. And meanwhile, Tristana, she's got her Noon Quiver, she's got a pickaxe, she's getting close to whatever her mythic is, and yeah, it's not great news.
Yeah, she's at a point where if you get hooked by the Nautilus, the follow-up from the Tristana can almost be close to securing a kill. And that's not something that you want to do this early in the game. But with the Sivir, one of the good things about the lethality build, or the lethality build path from the Sivir, is the fact that it's cheaper than her normal build, which means that at least she can get those items even without the amount of gold influx that she should be getting at this point of the game. So it's at least a bright side to look at. But the fact is that she's really far behind in lane. She's not only behind in CS, she's behind in experience and behind in plates as well. So it can be a little bit hard, especially if she gets killed.
Oh, the Sivir gets hooked in. The Black Shield's going to go down, but Tristana's going to jump in, go and get the explosive shot. One more auto is going to blow it up, but that doesn't quite go in. The Spell Shield will eat the bomb. A little bit of mana going back on the Sivir, but a fairly decent trade. Oh, we got a gank in the mid lane. Works going to be trying to get the fear in. He gets the jump with his Q. He's going to have to ulti over the wall to escape, and now Yone's going to get stunned up and comboed with the Banana Slamma from Wukong. It doesn't quite work, but hey, look, Sivir got some good trade with the friend. Great, amazing.
Great bind by the Morgana there to allow for the poke. But on the mid lane, great rotation by the Wukong, great counter gank by the Volibear, and they are able to kill once again the Yone. He even blows flash, and he still dies. So really, this feels really, really bad for the Yone. He's 0-4. He cannot get that much of an impact at this point in the game, and I'm not even sure if he can win the 1v1 against the Sylas now.
Yeah, but fortunately for RV, 6 more deaths, and he hits his power spike. So we can look forward. We can look forward, just like the brother Yasuo. We can look forward to that.
Yeah, that's a better way to that's a good way to see around it. I thought that his power spike was different from Yasuo because he didn't want to be like his brother, but
yeah, true, maybe. I don't know. Well, I'm not quite caught up on the lore here. For those two.
It's okay. I'm not either. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, a little bit of pressure down here in the bot side in favor of the Gothic Knights. Shirley is going to be going down into the mid lane. Try and get some plates for the Yone. Not a terrible idea, considering Yone really needs this money. And it all goes over to Warwick. That is tragic.
Yeah, that is really bad. If it was at least a couple of them going to the Yone, I agree that that wouldn't be a bad play. I think that going towards Dublin could have been better because of the pressure of Mordekaiser. But
Mhm.
if you put the gold onto the Yone, it's fine. But the Warwick is the only one that gets it, and the mid lane is not going to fall with this either. So it's not like you can open up space for the Yone. So overall, that Herald ends up being kind of a waste. I'm not going to say a full waste, but it's close to being a waste because of that.
Yeah, it's still money on the map,
Yeah.
but Warwick's not going to win you the game unless like we get a crazy pop off. And now that would be content. Seeing Warwick go just absolutely mental and
Yep.
slaughter everyone, that would be great. I don't think it'll happen, but I can dream.
I agree that it would be amazing because it's not every day that you actually get to see Warwick in competitive. So it would be fun to see it happening. I don't expect it either. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that there's way too much CC to control the Warwick and be able to kill him.
Yeah.
But who knows? Anything can happen
Who-
in the game.
yeah. Anything's possible. And anything can happen, and that's what's magic about League of Legends. Vision control being set up for Adrian College as they look to secure their second Drake of the game.
Yeah, great control by the side of Adrian College. Four members pick up the lens to deny the vision potential from the side of the Knights, and it's really greatly utilized. They get control of this Drake. If they try to go in, there's no chance. There's a chance that they just get instantaneously killed. So obviously, nice respect by the Knights, but a great control by the side of Adrian College, and they can just trade this for later on for vision again, and it's not going to be bad for them overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have an ocean map today. That's pretty good for both teams. Just Ocean Drake's always good
Yeah.
in most situations. Maybe not like Infernal or Mountain good, but it's not Cloud. That's a positive. Oh, yeah, yep. All right, cool, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
the cloud hate is logical. I don't like cloud either, so it's fine. I think that's great still. But yeah, I think that the Ocean Soul for this game particularly can be really good because there's a lot of champions that will fully utilize the Ocean Soul, and it also means that now both teams are even much more incentivized to go for a heal cut.
oh, we got a trade going in. Seer Silas landing. The
Oh,
Everfrost landing is full
oh, wait.
combo. The stolen ultimate nearly clips the Yone, but Arby's going to get
Oh,
out. Now
the
the Warwick
flash.
Goldie's going to go back and trade in. The flash going in. The heal coming down with the Kingslayer, but the Kingslayer is taken down by the Demon Lord Yone. Arby picking up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, great counter kill. Nice gank by the Warwick, and really overcommitting from the side of the Silas. He tried to go for the play, even though he was in no position to get the gank down. And oh wait,
Oh, the binding lands perfectly.
dead?
Chris Trace with great presence of mind. He's gonna go down, but getting a kill over to the Sivir is it's gonna help.
Hey, you have to take the positives. You have to take the positives.
You gotta take what you can get here.
Yeah.
I just looked at the CS score. The CS creep score. I just looked at the CS difference, and the kill is gonna help because that at least gets you your cauliflower warhammer, Coalfield's warhammer, which gets
Yeah.
you closer to an item, and that's incredible.
Yeah, it's really crucial. And also, just as a quick thing about the CS difference and how important it is, we're 15 minutes into the game and we're really close to a Flame Horizon. That it's 100 CS difference in just one position. That's really crazy to think about. So that kill, like you're saying, it's going to be crucial. Try and put the Sivir back in the game. Oh, Flash.
Flash used by the Wukong here. Afraid of the Warwick on his own. Warwick's going to get the fear in.
It's
Dash
the
it in.
Mort that is coming.
He's going to try and hit him up. Mordekaiser's around the corner, but doesn't have a lot of mobility to get him himself. Wukong's going to walk out, but he's going to have to burn his flash. Or I guess he didn't have to, but he did burn it.
Yeah, I think he did because...
Okay, Wukong found an opportunity. Cyclone's going to go down. He's going to get feared. Volibear's going to try and follow up the stun going down onto the Warwick. They're going to try and finish it off, but now Mordekaiser put Wukong in the realm, and Wukong's not going to feel so good as he goes down. Now it's 1v2. Mordekaiser in the middle of two people, but he's going to flash out. And that went back and forth, but Mordekaiser managed to secure it. And another kill over to Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I like the re-engage attempt, but the fact is that Wukong is really weak right now in comparison to the Mordekaiser. I think that he's even 2 levels behind of the Mordekaiser, which means that your damage is not going to be up to par with what the Mordekaiser can do. And there's also the ignite potential, so it was just going to be really hard. Oh,
Oh,
wait.
Silas is going in
The
on the
ultimate.
Neon Sonic. He's got the Mordekaiser realm. He's trapped Warwick in the realm. He's going to try and just finish him off. The Fear's going to go down, but it's just going to delay the inevitable here. As
Oh.
the Infinite Duress is going to try and keep him down. The healing battle between the Kingslayer and the Wolf here. Oh,
Why
Silas,
is this
it's
fun?
still going. Wow, I'm
Oh.
shocked that Warwick lived that long. Anyways,
Yeah.
he's still dead. Now Mordekaiser's going to get caught out here. The Hook's going to pull him back, and he's just going to get shot down. The depth charge
Oh, no.
gets another freebie onto RV. He's going to have to ulti out to escape. And in that fight, that's a 2-0 in favor of Adrian College.
Yeah, apart from the funny shenanigans that were the fight between Salas and Warwick, the rest of the team collapsed onto the Mordekaiser that was trying to get to save the Warwick after he was already dead, and it was just an easy collapse. Overall, I really like how Adrian College has been moving around. They try to put a lot of numbers advantage for fights to try and make them as winnable as possible, and they end up winning consistently.
Ooh, Binding goes down. It's going to be a good trade. Onto the Tristana. She's going to have to jump out of there.
Yeah, nice trade. Doing a lot of damage. Putting pressure onto the Tristana, which is important. Ooh.
That was a little sketchy. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right, it's fine. Everfrost didn't land. We're all good.
Yeah, he was able to run away, luckily. The score difference in the villain is so funny. It's 1-4 to 4-1. And incredibly enough, and I think this has to do with the roams from the Nautilus, the Tristana loses the first turret, something that I wasn't expecting. I was ready for the bottom lane turret to fall first for Adrian College, but nice advantage for the Knights to get at least another important chunk of gold back into them.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of Nautilus roaming around to at least get something in the lane, which something is better than nothing, as we all know.
Yeah. And now for the third rig that is already spawning, everyone is collapsing here.
Silas has the Warwick ultimate. We've got Wukong collapsing in on the Yone in the mid lane. But that just looks like it's going to be another setup here for the Adrian College. Oh, the Everfrost is going to land onto the Warwick. Warwick's going to get caught by his own Infinite Duress. He's going to get pulled back. The Stormbringer slams down, bringing the thunder, the lightning, and the pain. Homeless here picks up 2 kills and secures the dragon. Likely secures the dragon for Adrian College.
Oh, wait, more?
Oh, no, and here's another fight. Here's another fight. The Hook going in, the Cyclone keeping up, and he can't even get the Death Realm out. He's put in his own cage. And that's another kill.
Mordekaiser trying to get the turret or trying to get something back, but he walks way too far forward, gets in turret range, and gets CC'd to that. Really greatly played by the Nautilus there. And also, once again, from the bottom lane, the 2 picks that they got onto the Warwick and the Morgana, great vision control down in the enemy jungler and on the river to force someone to face check, and then they collapse into the kills. This has been really well played by the side of Adrian College, and they are just trying to get every advantage that they can get.
Yeah, they're pushing as much as they can possibly can, especially right here, because they've got Shirley, and she's getting the headbutt onto the inhibitor turret. This thing's going to go down. Tristana's here, too. They might even get an inhib here. I don't know if that's a great idea, but they might still get it.
Not here, though.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Shirley will do her job. She'll take down that inhibitor turret, and there's an open inhib for Adrian College to pick up whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, it's in a spot where if they get an ace, they can just look to try and open it up and put much more pressure on the map. Luckily, the Yone doing a good job of putting pressure on the other side, trying to get that turret. If he gets the tier 2 turret in the top lane, that could have been great because it's a lot of gold influx going into the pockets of the Knight because of the changes that that turret received recently. But because he didn't get it, it overall doesn't amount to much, and it's just a complete win for Adrian College.
Yeah, well, the turret is significantly weakened at least. So, if the Yone or the Mordekaiser decides to go up and split, that will be a fairly easy objective to pick up. I won't say it's easy because you still have to not die, but it is available for them as an option to try and get some gold back, and they get a turret in the mid lane, which is nice. Evens up the tower score.
Yeah, the reset from the side of Adrian College was a little bit late, which means that they lose the mid lane turret and maybe something more here.
Oh, here goes Yone. He's going to try and get his tornado. It misses. The Q3 doesn't quite land on the Tristana. Going to have to jump back out of there. Oh, here's coming in. Yeah, Volibear and Silas are going to looking for a flank.
Ooh.
The chains don't land. The Flash and the Black Shield come out, but they're going to be posturing around trying to muscle their way into the Baron pit to get some vision and get control and possibly secure the purple worm.
The thing is, I'm not sure if they can rush it this early on in the game. I know that they do have a lot of damage, but it's 21 minutes. They don't have a huge lead. It's just 5k.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if they can rush it down. They can try and bait
Yeah.
what you're saying, control the vision, and then bait for a turnaround fight that they can win.
Yeah, and that's what they're exactly looking to do with the Volibear and the Silas, looking to try and catch the Yone and the Sivir out.
Sivir?
And Volibear is going to try and go in, but he doesn't commit to it. Too many members on the side, not enough info. The binding lands. And it looks like the
Wukong?
Adrian College is going to try and go in. The Wukong is
the
going to
flash.
flash in with the Cyclone, hits 2 people. Arvy's going to go down before his ulti can even go off. Now Chris Trace is going to go down to the explosive shot. Arv goes down, the resets, the Stormbringer jumps all around the board. Sivir goes down. Mordekaiser's in his death round. I'm going to try and take one with him. He manages to take down the Mordekaiser, but that's all, or Mordekaiser manages to take down the Wukong, but that doesn't mean a whole lot when there are so many other players on the side of Adrian College. 4-for-1 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the control that they have is so good. They were on the top side clearing up vision, but as soon as they saw the opportunity to move down and try and collapse onto the Sivir, they take it and run down the enemy team. It was a great engage by Gecko to get the ultimate on two people, and then just they clean down onto the rest of the members. The Mordekaiser is able to get a kill back because of his ultimate, but I don't think it amounts to that much because the rest of the team not only dies, but you lose also 2 turrets down in the bottom lane. This is an important goal swing because now it was 5,000 previously, now it's 7,000. And with the soul coming up in, I think, 2 minutes or 1.5, it should be really close to being such a hard game for the side of the Knights to come back.
Yeah, if the Ocean Drake gets picked up, it's gonna feel like curtains for the side of the Gothic Knights, especially because they can't even afford Grievous Wounds if they wanted to. So like it's just hard for them. Oh, and we got a trade up top lane. It looks like okay, now that was just, I thought he ultied the clone for a second there. I was like, oh no, oh no, but his ulti wasn't up. It's fine.
Yeah. Luckily, no. That would have been. I think that mentally, it's nail in the coffin. If you ulti the Wukong clone, you pretty much are dead. Are dead mentally. That's just something that never wants to happen.
You just take your hands off the keyboard, you go and you stare off into the sunset, wondering where you went wrong. And meanwhile, where did Arvi go wrong? Trying to go in here, actually getting a decent amount of damage on the Tristana, but she takes him back down. Meanwhile, Wukong's gonna flake, angle the Cyclone, going in, tearing apart the Gothic Knights. Meanwhile, their big metal knight's gonna try and do what he can, but he's gonna take down the Wukong once again. But now Warwick's gonna be on his own, 1v4, trying to do what he can. He's just gonna have to jump out as Adrian College are looking for the dragon, and they're likely going to be looking for the Baron next.
Yeah, it should be a quick secure for this dragon. No ultimate on the Warwick, no flash. There shouldn't be any chance to secure this. Oh wait.
Wait, we got a hook onto the Warwick. Warwick's gonna just be shot down to jump away. He's gonna do as much as he can here. He's gonna try and get out, but the Tristana has so much damage. Another hook lands.
This is Baron
and the
now.
Englishman is unstoppable.
Yeah, and now this is 100% Baron. With the Ocean Soul, they will be able to come back to almost full health, and the Wukong will be able to spawn before the Baron dies. So this should be a really easy secure for them. They also have teleport on the side, so he can come from the side and try and help or dissuade any attempt to steal this spot. This may be nail in the coffin for this game for the side of Adrian College.
Yeah, the Gothic Knights are going to need a miracle or perhaps something even greater to pull them back from this kind of deficit and this much pressure. They're nearly down 10,000 gold at this point in the game, and it's just bad news. Well, the Cyclone is just going to go in. Yone nearly gets killed, but there's a flank here. Silas just going to one-shot the Morgana. Chris Trace getting caught out there trying to make anything happen on the map, and that's just going to be a free kill over to Adrian College, and they're going to look to probably end the game. Tristana's going to be jumping in. She finds Yone, throwing out some auto attacks, trying to get in range. She flashes. Yone tries to escape, but RB.
She even wants the Sivir.
Oh no! And Ellipse is in bad danger. I've got bad news. You're playing Sivir. Oh no! Oh, that
But then
looks like
I
my
think that's
Civer
game.
games. That looked like my Civer play. All right, yeah, this is looking very tragic here with 2 people dead on the side of the Gothic Knights. They're gonna have to hold the line and wait for
Oh,
these death timers. A hook goes down, but nobody's able to follow up here. Silas has the infinite duress. He's gonna be looking at obviously gonna look to use it at some point, but he's
maybe.
trying to look for an opportunity. Well, they're just gonna be hanging out, and yeah, they're still hanging on. Not a finish here. Tristana's pushing on the side. A hook
Yeah,
goes
I think
down,
that's the
forcing
problem though. Oh wait.
hook. Yeah, forcing the flash. There's a lot of damage coming out. More just getting CC'd. A hook lands. CC chaining Warwick, and now Mordekaiser's going to do what he can. Yone jumped in. You
And
saw him. You blinked. He's gone, and now Mordekaiser's gone too. It's down to
what?
Sivir, and the hook still lands. Smirkin's just that guy's smirking for sure. A quadra kill over to the Silas, and that's going to be game 1 going to Adrian College. And what
Yep.
a bloodbath that was. What a bloodbath.
I think calling it a massacre wouldn't even be that badly, because I feel like from a start to finish it just didn't feel like the side of the Knights were in a comfortable spot. Like from laning phase in the bottom lane, it was really hard. The Sivir and the Morgana pressured from the start. They couldn't get past. I think by 15 minutes they were 40 CS, and it just felt really hard for them. On the other side, the top lane, it was going much better. I think that the Mordekaiser had a really nice lane time, and he also got a solo kill at the start, but the problem is that with the difference between the top lane getting 1 kill to the other side of the map dying 5 times was way too big. And one of the things that I really liked from Adrian College was that they kept consistent control over the map. Yes, they were able to play in the lanes, but when you look how they moved around, it was consistent ward vision, consistent vision denial from the Knights, and it just meant that the side of the Knights were constantly getting choked out of vision, choked out of control, and choked out of the game. They at the end they had to force fights that they didn't want to, and ended up dying really early on.
Yeah, the Gothic Knights, they had to make whatever play they could, try and get as many
Yeah.
objectives as possible, and that ended up in the end there when they tried to go for that mid push. They weren't able to finish it out. They just got taken down. And that's you don't like to see that, but it's not the end of the world. They still have another game and possibly a third game
Yeah.
if they manage to win the next one to show that this one was just warming up. They probably have a lot that they take away from this and what they might be able to do for the next one. Do you think that they possibly rework the draft at all, or maybe look to ban some of Adrian College's picks, or do they just do the salty run back and pray to God?
I think salty runbacks are not a good idea, because I think it's much more your ego talking than what actually happened in the game. I don't think that there was particularly any problem with the champions as a whole. I think that you can try to look to change some things, maybe in the mid lane, something with much more control, like an Ariana or something like that. But overall, I think that it has to be the mentality on how they play the game, because it's fine if you lose a lane, but you need to understand that you cannot commit for things that you cannot do. So if you're going to play the laning phase and you get traded really heavily on at the start of the game, okay, that's fine. But then you need to understand that you cannot go and contest a wave like you would typically do, because it's just really hard to do at that point. You need to play much more according to what the situation is, and try and what is it called? Try and adapt to what the game brings out. And I think that that's the most important change that the Knights need to do in the second game to try and put themselves in a better spot to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe look more towards playing towards the top lane, because Carlos had a pretty good game, all things considered. His Mordekaiser was genuinely threatening, and Mordekaiser got buffs in the recent patch, so that's not the end of the world. That's not shocking, because Mordekaiser can be dangerous if given room to muscle around, but. I don't know. It's gonna be they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what to do next. Meanwhile, for Adrian College, they don't really have a whole lot they necessarily need to change.
Yeah, I feel like Adrian much more straightforward. They controlled really well the game. I think that it was also helped by the fact that their laning phases were really straightforward. They just killed a couple of times each champion, and then they were able to move around the map effectively. But I think that they were doing a really nice job, like I was saying, of controlling vision and denying vision. Like I think I mentioned this. They by the first rake or the second rake, they had 4 revealing lenses on 4
Mhm.
members of the team. That means
Yeah.
that they were, even though you don't have the vision control to know where the enemy is, you
Yeah.
can't deny the vision from the enemy, and that means that they don't know either. So they have to
Mhm.
face check into you. And I think that those adaptations, those small things, are really, really important to not only control what the enemy sees, but what the enemy does. And it ended
Yeah.
up happening into them face checking and dying consistently.
Yeah, and especially with like Smirkins doing really well on the Nautilus there. Aside from a couple, ambitious hooks in the early
Yep.
game in laning phase, you take those. You got to take them. Why not?
You went for
But
every hook.
yeah, I
Every hook.
again respect it. Chad gameplay. You can't beat it. But still, aside from that, they had so much lockdown that because they forced the Gothic Knights to face check, there was just no hope. So for the Gothic Knights, they need to maybe look to get better vision around objectives, get some more pressure in lanes. Maybe don't play Yone again. I feel like we're gonna see Yone again because
Maybe.
RV's champ pool, from what I looked at, is a lot of assassin mids. I don't believe
Okay.
RV plays any control mages from what I saw on his OPGG, but we could still see the Oriana. I don't know if Vex is enabled.
I think he isn't for now. I think that it's in 2 weeks that he will be enabled, or next
Yeah.
week, I think. So
Yeah.
for now, no.
Yeah. If only, right? Randomly pull out the new champ. That's a real curveball right there.
Yeah, it's unexpected to say the least, and it's something that everyone wants to play. So why not? I speaking of RB though, I think that if his shampoo is mainly those kind of champions, I think that ideally Neon should try and put pressure on the mid lane, because if you have, let's say for example, he plays Zed and he just decide to go for the set, and they decide to commit wholeheartedly on putting the set ahead, that is a viable style of play that they can go for. And that way they can also cover the weaknesses from the bottom lane, because if you have a far ahead set, he can just
Mhm.
go there, kill the AD carry continuously, and your bot lane can win a lot by that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of ways you can play around Zed, and
Yeah.
it might work better than the Yone. I'm not sure if it'll be better. I hope Yasuo doesn't show up. But what's interesting, at least to me, is that the Adrian College's mid laner Chaggins also plays Yone and Yasuo and
Ooh.
Zed along with control mages. So maybe Adrian College, Chaggins is really feeling himself and he pulls out the brother matchup. That would be content.
That'll be that'll be to prove who is the better brother, pretty much.
Who is the
Let's see.
stronger brother? Who can
Yeah.
reach 10 deaths faster?
But will it be 10-0 power spike against 0-10, or will it be both 0-10 power spikes?
They both reach 010.
Oh, okay, okay,
Oh,
okay.
jeez. Oh, no. They just row
Oh,
it down mid to try and
that is
gain as many deaths as possible.
that is the kind of thing I expect from solo queue, not competitive. But it can be something interesting to see. I really want to see more champ variation from Adrian, because I think that they played a really straightforward composition. I think that they can try and
Yeah.
go for something much more creative and still be able to win. And quickly speaking on this, because I don't want to sound like biased or anything like that
Hmm.
against any of the teams. I
Yeah.
think that the best thing that the side of the Knights can do for this game or this series is to lose gracefully so that they can learn from it. Because I think that this is the kind of series that can teach you a lot, especially from the first game, on how to just consistently improve.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. This is definitely a big learning experience, and because Adrian College is playing so well around the map, you can pull away from this and maybe learn to
Yeah,
start playing more macro yourself and see what they're doing well, and then adapt that into your own gameplay.
yeah,
So
certainly.
yeah,
And I think those differences will be what carry on later on in the season for the side of the Knights.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and especially like as their new players get more experience. I hope that if Ellipse keeps playing, he maybe picks up a champion that isn't Sivir. I'm sorry, I love Sivir, my favorite AD carry. I don't know why
Mine was
anybody
Grapes.
plays the champion. Quite
I think
frankly,
Sivir. I think Sivir is good. I'm not. I think Sivir can be good, and I think she's good. The problem is that she's really dependent on either you putting resources on her so that she can quickly get to her power spikes,
Yeah.
or you completely ignoring her and hoping that the rest of the map can do good so that she can later on be a menace.
Yeah,
And
she can be a menace and also hit the R key
yeah,
so everybody can go in.
exactly, and that's I think that's the problematic with Zero, at least in this current meta, the fact that she as an AD carry doesn't feel as powerful as the rest before 30 minutes, and that's why a lot of the AD carries that are over her, like Varus, like Kalista or
Yeah.
Ezreal, appear before because their power spikes are way sooner and their impact begins to be felt really early on. Maybe
Yeah.
now with the changes though to AD carries, because Varus was nerfed in this patch, and a couple of AD carries were nerfed as well previously. So I think that maybe we may see the rise of Sivir, but right now she just, or at least I think that compared to other AD carries, she just doesn't feel that good.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. But I'm not. I won't. I would love to see more Sivir do well personally because I love Sivir. Great champion. I love throwing a boomerang blade. It just doesn't feel good to play
Yeah,
a
that's the
lot of
thing.
the
It just
time.
doesn't feel good. I think that this reminds me to a little bit, although Senna was much more powerful, but to Senna to the same degree. Like Senna is good and Senna can be played, but I feel like people just the fan factor or the enjoyment factor is such a big matter for a lot of
Mhm.
players that if you don't find it enjoyable or fun, you really don't mind if it's broken or not. You don't want to play it.
Yeah, and we are currently still waiting on the draft to be finished. So we're gonna just keep talking about what possibly we can see in terms of adaptations and what other picks can come out. Chris Race is not just a Morgana player. If I can talk a little bit about the Gothic Knights, Chris Race is not just a Morgana player, but also plays a lot of other Enchanter supports like Karma, Soraka,
You
and those sorts of picks. And maybe,
okay?
I didn't see any Sona. I know Sona's really good right now. So
She's
it's fairly good,
Yeah,
at
I
least.
think Sona, like if you could play Sona, that would be huge because Sona is probably one of the two better, like one of the top three supports right now in terms of the power that they have. Sona, in my mind, it's Sona, Soraka, and Lulu, the top
Hmm.
three support plays because of how not only how strong they are, but how effective can they be played. Obviously, there's a players that need to understand that they cannot play these the same as you play an Nautilus or a Leona, and
Yeah.
that's why they typically end up just going 0 and 15 because they don't
Yeah.
understand that difference. But
Oh,
Sona,
absolutely.
Soraka, and Lulu are so strong, and if you have a player that can play enchanters, it can be really good, especially for your AD carry to try and be able to deal much more damage. But not only that, but for your jungler to go aggressive picks, because things like Olaf, things like Hecarim, things like another example would be, I think, to a certain degree, Jarvan, are
Hmm.
champions that get really powerful in the early game. But with an enchanter support, they can run over in the game much more easily, and late game they can be played much more effectively because that's one of their weaknesses. So I think that if you have an enchanter player, that can be really good for the rest of the team, not only your AD carry.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is. I'm not going to say it's easier to play weak side with an enchanter
Yeah,
support, but it does make it like less brutal. Like as we saw with the Morgana, that could have been a lot worse without those black shields
yeah,
going down. That could have been a lot worse for them. And in the end, it ended up being fine because of the black shields. But yeah, I agree with that. I think sticking with the enchanters might be a good idea since Chris Race is an enchanter player. And it'll enable their comp because like Carlos plays a lot of bruisers and uh
that is also really helpful. Yeah,
yeah, Neon Sonic plays Warwick and Warwick
and
which is
some
fine.
Warwick.
Which is fine. I did see Vayne jungle in Neon Sonic's match history, which I felt was
Oh,
inspiring, but also I, I don't want to see it.
yeah, no, if he brings it out against a team that can play, that knows how to play as a team, that can just be disastrous. That will be a crying experience to say the least.
This will be actual pain. Nobody
Yeah,
will be having a not
no, no,
nobody will
no.
be having a good
Yeah,
time.
I
Vayne
think
will
Adrian,
definitely not be having
yeah,
a good
Adrian College will be so happy. This will be, they will be ecstatic. I think that it's Neon that will be so sad because that just sounds awful to play against. Like imagine a Xin Zhao going against a Bane jungle. Ugh, it just sounds painful.
Xin Zhao goes in level 2. Vayne hasn't even finished the
Yeah,
first buff. Oh, tragedy. Just
yeah. The
tragedy. Xin Zhao gets every single camp on the map.
Another experience that I think would be just out of solo queue. I don't expect to see it here.
No.
But maybe it happens one day. Hopefully not. But one day,
I mean,
maybe.
you know, we've seen Vayne mid lane, and we've also seen some weird picks in the jungle in the past. You know, somebody's gotta break the mold and break the meta. I don't know if Vayne jungle is the way to do that.
I don't either.
However, it still has to happen eventually, and we are still waiting for the game to start. They are in draft. The game should be starting soon. Trademark. But for right now, we just still hanging out here, looking for things to do. I thought it was interesting
Speaking of
that
talk.
It's Gecko picked Wukong because I imagine it could have gotten banned. We didn't actually get to see the bans
Yeah.
to figure out like what got denied away from them. But It's Gecko. I've been poking a little bit of fun at the Gothic Knights for playing 1 or 2 champions, but It's Gecko plays Kled, and Kled in the top lane. Only Kled.
I can see why it was like if it was Kled against Mord, it could have been way worse. For
that would have
Mordekaiser,
been pretty bad.
Mordekaiser wouldn't have like that. I think Kled could be good here. So obviously, I think that it's probably banned away. But I think that if you can ban someone out, it's the top laner is one of the lesser worries that I feel like you can have in terms of ban.
Yeah.
Because I think that you ban Camille, and then the rest is kind of there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
how I feel with top lane, because you don't want to really ban Kennen, even though Kennen is strong. You don't really want to ban him away because you can try and play around the Kennen or counter the Kennen. Like there's options there. So top lane is one of the better lanes to, even if you get banned, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, there are probably more dangerous lanes to consider banning out, like AD carries or just a lot of supports get banned these days.
I think support right now is one of the most bannable lanes because there's so many clear-cut strong champions, and because there's so many clear-cut strong champions, it's easier to ban them away. And also the options that are left, I think that are kind of in a gentleman's agreement that everybody is willing to pick them up. So like the Leonas, like the Nautilus, like the Threshes, in case it's not banned. So I think that support is much more. It's a much take away and give position than any other. Even more so than AD carrier mid lane.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes happen in the support role. Just yes, we are both gonna play manly engaged supports, and we're gonna row it at each other the whole game. And I'm an enchanter player, so I don't feel that that's the right way to play the game, because it's the effective way to play the game.
See, as long as you don't play Soraka, I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's true. There was an issue with the draft, so the teams are currently redoing the draft right now. We will have to see how long this delay will last. We apologize for the delays with the draft and the next game. Just hang tight, Hold on there.
It's close. It'll start close.
Yeah,
it'll start soon. I mean.
Yeah, it'll start soon. And it's a first game of the season. A lot of things need to get sorted out. A lot of people are figuring stuff out, especially because both teams are fairly new to this, especially because Adrian College recently just joined the NECC, so they're pretty new. I don't know necessarily how new their eSports team is, but we're all working this through. We're all working it together, and we're doing our best, and that's great. We're all here to enjoy League of Legends, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that as long as we get to the game, I think that the small delays will matter not that much. Especially if we get a good pace. I was eyeing a little bit of what they were talking about, and I saw maybe a Misfortune, maybe a Talia, so it could be really fun. I really hope that we see Misfortune. That champ is so strong.
I don't know who talked about the Misfortune, but actually, the Englishman I know plays Misfortune a bit, and I think Ellipsis played a bit of Misfortune. Not a whole lot from what I saw. I like a couple games, mostly just Sivir, but the Englishman might pull out the Misfortune. I could see that.
Yeah, and I think it was the side of Adrian College that mentioned that, so it may be the Englishman, and I think that that's such a good pick, especially if you have good enough setup. Misfortune with her new ultimate, it's so strong. She's really strong.
Is that so? I actually what I apparently missed the Misfortune Ultimate change because I know she got nerfed in the last patch, and I was like, "What happened?
She
What did I
got
miss? Where was I?"
it was a change that she got, I think, 2 extra rounds in her ultimate. So
Wow,
it's two
that
more
that
two more yeah, 2 more waves of bullets coming through. That's so
that
huge for the
that's
Misfortune.
pain. That's a lot of pain right there.
Yeah,
You don't want to eat those.
I experienced it secondhand because yesterday I was casting a series with a Misfortune, and I think she
Ooh.
ended 19-1. I think and she saved the game. I think 2 or 3 times just with ultimate, just the
Ouch.
ultimate alone. That's
That's
how strong she is right now.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I hope we see the Misfortune then. That's exciting.
Yeah,
I
it's a
do think
really enjoyable champion.
I do think she's fun to watch in lane because with the double up, it's a very engaging to see. She uses it on a minion. Oh, will it bounce? It always does, especially when you don't think it should.
Yeah, I always love using it to just kill people based on, like, I always leave that one minion to just kill
Oh,
people with that. It's
the
so
one
fun.
caster minion at 1
Yeah,
HP, nobody's hitting it. You're waiting to double up. The
and
support
it's
walks up and they get really sad all of a sudden.
but it's way better in mid lane because nobody plays against Misfortune mid, so they never expect that coming through. It's
Oh,
so
they,
fun. It's so enjoyable.
it's true. Oh man, all the poor melee players just getting shot by Misfortune. It's not a great
Yeah, and
time.
the funny thing is that they expect that they can just outtrade you in the mid lane. Like Yone, yes, Yone can deal a lot of damage, but if he misses one Q and you get one double up on him, he's pretty much dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he's just destroyed.
Misfortune does a lot of damage early on.
Yep.
Especially like I don't know. I'm guessing. Do Misfortunes go the lethality build these days, or is it still crit?
It was crit previously, but lethality is way better on her.
Yeah, I would imagine
It's way
lethality is
way
better right
stronger.
now.
And also the lethality got a small buff, which means that now it's way better on other champions. And
Mhm.
Misfortune just beneficates from that. Apart from her ultimate, it's that extra.
Yeah,
So it's so good on
absolutely.
her.
Yeah, yeah. That's great. I actually hopefully we see some Misfortune. Also the Talia.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised about the Talia. Because I didn't see either jungler with Talia in their
Champo?
champ pool. I didn't see Talia in either of their champ pools, but granted, I didn't get to see like a full extensive match history. I didn't look at the full extensive match history to see what characters they
Yeah.
play. Uh, but hey, I wouldn't be
Ooh.
surprised. And we finally have the draft, so we will be going through this. Poppy will be the first ban for Adrian College. Interesting, but Carlos does play Poppy, so that's not necessarily a surprise.
And I like the Poppy. I think that Poppy is one of the better champions right now. Not because
Hmm.
she's necessarily just super strong, but there's a lot of dashes in the game. And
Yeah,
Poppy just naturally counters those so easily.
yeah, absolutely. The Nautilus gets banned, and the Zed we were talking about it.
Yeah.
RV possibly picking that up gets banned for Adrian College bans it. The Nautilus ban, I think that's just reactive more than like a great decision because Smirkins also plays Thresh and Blitzcrank and Pike. They're still going to have the potential to get a hook in the bot lane. And
Yeah.
we have Set getting banned for Adrian College.
Which
Yeah.
I think, as a third ban, it kind of surprised me. I think that Zed usually comes much more in the second rotation, so
Yeah.
it's interesting to see. And the Kled that
Oh,
we were talking about
we
previously,
got
yeah.
the Kled. Gecko's getting his character. That you like the Tryndamere.
Ooh.
I've heard a lot of things about Tryndamere right now, and none of them have been positive. So,
Yeah,
or in terms
he's
of like the people getting run over by Tryndamere.
Yep,
So,
Tryndamere is probably the most, like, he's the Lee Sin of this batch of this batch right now.
mhm,
He just goes so effectively into solo lanes, into mid lane or top lane, and it's just such a good champion overall. It's then Xin Zhao and Asir for the side of Adrian College. So I think that staying close to what they have a little bit in the previous game with the playstyle overall. Obviously, Asir functions differently from the Sylas, but it's
yeah,
still a mid lane mage that tries to deal a lot of damage consistently. Against
yeah.
the Yone, though, it can be risky.
Yeah, and while the Azir, like you don't typically see Azir in these sorts of maybe less experienced games. This Chaggins plays a ton of Azir, so that's not necessarily a
Ooh.
surprise. And
And
we
there's an
see the
effect.
Misfortune picked up by the Gothic Knights, and we actually have a substitution here. Ellipse got subbed out for their other AD carry player, the Sixth, who is also a new player, and they recently have been playing through ranked. They recently got ranked, and the Sixth does play Misfortune, so that's
Okay.
actually not a surprise to see. The Sixth also plays a lot of Senna, and we also have the Ezreal and the Alistar on the side of Adrian College, and then the Leona for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, so looking at compositions, I think that the cohesion from the side of Adrian College is much more logical when you see it. You have the Kled and the Xinjiao that try to go in with the Alistar as well, and the two safe from a distance champions that will deal consistent damage in the Asir and the Ezreal. I think that their composition is a front-to-back normal composition that you typically play, and you also have the damage with the Shin and the Kled in case something happens with Ezreal and Asir, so it's not completely bad if something bad happens with those two. But on the other side, I think that it's way much over the place with the Tryndamere, with the Talia, with the Yone, with the Misfortune and the Leona. You have champions that want to engage in with the Leona and the Yone, but you have champions that want to kind of kite back in the Talia, champions that don't want to teamfight in the Tryndamere, and champions that want to have a wombo in the Misfortune. So their way of executing this game can be a little bit harder because of how much disjointment is overall. But if they are able to pull it off, it can be really easy for them to win, especially in the early game. If they get an early advantage, they have champions that just destroy you if they get a lead. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what they need to get.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do find Gothic Knight's composition to be very, very interesting because like I didn't see a lot of like Neon Sonic plays a lot of more range junglers, like Vayne, but Talia I didn't actually I don't they might have played Talia, but I didn't see it. So I'm kind of surprised to see that. And the Tryndamere, that fits sort of what Carlos likes to play in because Tryndamere is really good right now. It's not a terrible idea, but yeah, it's gonna be spicy. I do like seeing the spicier picks. You know.
The good thing with the Kled though is that at least you get the heal cut on the Q to at least put pressure onto the Tryndamere. But overall, I think that Tryndamere, like in the previous game with the Mordekaiser, should have a good time in the top lane, especially if I think that he probably will take either Ghost or Ignite. I don't think you take Teleport with Tryndamere because it doesn't feel that good overall. And you either way, you don't really want to join team fights in the other side of the map. So I think that he will try to put focus on the lane. We need to see what Kled and much more importantly this time around, both junglers decide to do. Because we need to see if there's going to be focus from the Xinjiao onto the Kled lane, and if the Neon is going to gank Carlos' lane. I think that those two players are going to be the players to watch to see what they want to do in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of action on the top lane because Ezreal's a very passive laner. Like you might see Leona go for stuff because Leona can lock him down in the entirety of the bullet time, and that can be a really easy tool to get some free kills in the bot lane if they can get the combos out. But Ezreal's got his blink and Alistar's got his ultimate. It's just a hard time for the bot lane. So I feel like absolutely nothing's going to happen bot side, for the most part. And we're going to be seeing action more on the top side of the map, hopefully, until like Dragon spawns, and then we'll get some spicy plays. Do we see Tryndamere take Teleport or Ignite?
I think
Carlos did take Ignite last game, so I'm curious.
I think I would say Ignite, but I think Ghost can be a better option as well because that way you can run down people, and I think that's what you'd rather have with Tryndamere.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. Sorry for that. I'm not sure. I think that it's either Ignite or Ghost. I don't think Teleport is going to be an option.
Yeah, and the spectator delay is almost through. We are just about loading into the game, so we have maybe a couple more minutes to just sort of reflect on what we can expect to see in this game and maybe what these compositions are doing for either team, because I hope the Gothic Knights can pull together and maybe pull out a surprise victory where possibly they wouldn't have gotten one with these kind of picks. We have not just Ignite, Ghost on the Tryndamere. That's incredible, and we're into the game.
I was expecting one of the two, not the two.
Yeah, on the blue side, we have Adrian College with Kled in the top lane, Zinja in the jungle, Azir in the mid lane, Ezreal in bot with Alistar. And on the red team, we have the Gothic City, the Gothic Knights. With Tryndamere in the top lane, Talia in the jungle, Yone in the mid lane, Misfortune in the AD carry position, and Leona in support. So yeah, it's a pretty standard start so far. Great.
Yeah, they just staring at each other pretty much, just trying to get a position of each of the two players. In the first game, this was the thing that happened as well. They put down a ward in the pixel push. I think that it was though I think that it was the red team as well. So just trying to control the area. We need to see. Oh wait.
Oh, Gecko's gonna be walking in. It's gonna get spun on. They're just hanging out. Oh, the bear trap on a rope's gonna go down. Pop the bone plating. Tryndamere is gonna be lethal tempoing. Some autos back and forth. Kled did not get a grass proc, so that was fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can see in the chat the Adrian College pinging Tryndamere summoner spells. They're terrified. That's why they're pinging it. They're scared. They know what's gonna happen. They've seen the highlight reel. They've seen Tryndamere. I could feel it.
Yeah, it can be like the story of this game with Tryndamere can be, oh my god, he's killing everyone, to oh no, he's dying again. That's how I feel with this, especially with Ignite Ghost.
Yeah, it's a coin flip. We're flipping a coin and we're hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Tryndamere's gotta get going early or it's just gonna be bad news. But yeah, pretty standard start so far. No cheese ganks yet. It is Xin Zhao. I'm not holding out that we'll see a random Xin Zhao level 2 gank on bot lane. If that could happen. But yeah, it's just so far just
I think Shin will go for a full clear, which means that he probably is not going to gank till level 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And that means that probably his first gank will be when either Tryndamere has blown one summoner to try and get a kill, or the Kled has teleported back into the top lane because of a back trade.
Tryndamere spinning in, trying to get a kill, but we haven't engaged here in the mid lane. Talia is going to be trying to get some stuff down. Azir caught out, having to flash. The Ignite goes down, and Talia getting the first blood. Neon Sonic with a very good gank and pressure down on the mid lane way sooner than anyone expected.
Yeah, great first gank by Talia. I think it has to do with, if you quickly see onto the Raptors, there's a ward on there. I think that the Seer put down that ward there to try and get vision to the Talia, putting himself in a super bad position, and that means that the Talia was able to get behind him, and even though they forced a flash from the Seer, he still dies. Great first gank, great first workflow to Talia, and this is exactly what the side of the Knights needed, because their team composition is one that with a lead can just snowball way out of control.
Yeah, and we didn't see the quite entirety of that exchange, but I believe Talia just got Talia popped him over the wall when he walked up.
Oh, okay.
I imagine that's what happened. Which, you know, really just great play, and a lot of this is a good wave getting built up here by Kled looking to crash this in and try and get some pressure on the Tryndamere. Tryndamere having a hard time going in for these trades. They're not going badly, but he's not getting the kind of lead he needs, I don't think.
Yeah, he's getting pressured by the Kled. I think that a good job by Gecko controlling how the lane has been played, especially also getting the bird traps down, because we were talking about this. The bird trap is mainly a heal code that you can use against the Tryndamere, and if you're able to connect that, the trading for the Kled can be much better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, yeah, Tryndamere's popping that heal here, getting rid of the Rage Bar. And while Tryndamere does have an HP advantage here with the Doran's Blade and, you know, his healing with his Q, he eats his own rage and he calms down and he feels a lot better about himself. But yeah, actually Tryndamere's going in here for a fight, gonna pop the dismount here. Kled's in danger, the Ignite's gonna go down, and Xin Zhao's coming around the back, he's gonna pick up the kill, coming in here, slamming him with the spear, and Gecko picks up the kill. That was a good start from the Tryndamere, but the good response from Homeless to take that back.
Yeah, he was on the top side doing the crocs, but he's able to just move quickly onto the fight. And really important, that's the difference from not having the flash there. The fact that the Kled was able to just flash away, you cannot get the kill, and as soon as the Xiao comes in, it's just really hard to secure this. Also on the top lane, because there's no teleport now, the Kled can just push this wave and come back with a teleport, even if the Tryndamere gets here now.
Oh, we got Talia moving in. She's going to be looking to try and get her seismic shove. Goes wide, doesn't quite land on the Ezreal. Rain of bullets? I
think it's rain of bullets, yeah.
Rain of bullets, whatever. It's raining bullets. Amazing. You know, just some spells going out. little bit of pressure, but not a whole lot.
Ooh.
Tryndamere are going to be looking to try and get a bit of damage onto the Kled here, because Kled has not recalled yet.
Yeah, the problem is the wave. He tried to push the wave, but he didn't have enough opportunity to push it effectively, which means that he didn't have the back timing. But now with this wave crashing, he's more than likely just securing this wave and being able to back.
Yeah.
But on the other side, great response to get that Drake early on. Ooh, wait.
Oh, Tryndamere going to be spinning on there. Oh, pretty risky.
Wait,
Gecko
is coming up.
Yeah. Oh, Xinjiao's found an opportunity. The Kled ult's going to go in. Charge! He goes in. Xinjiao's going to get his 3 Talon strike, knocking him up, pulling him back, and sending him back home. Tryndamere gets taken down by the Kled. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, first Dragon picked up for the Gothic Knights.
See, I didn't want to be right. I said that it was going to be either it's going to be great, it's going to be, oh, he's killing everyone, or oh no, he's dying again. And I feel like we're getting the second part of that.
Oh no! Does Tryndamere have a 10 power spike? Does he have one?
I don't know.
Is that in the
I think
card?
he doesn't.
Oh no!
I think he doesn't fall in that category. Oh no!
Oh no! That's bad news. That's bad news, and especially the bad mid lane trade too for RV getting forced out of lane there. The Azir getting a lot of lane pressure despite the fairly rough early gank, getting the early kill. The Azir has been holding his own, forcing the Yone back, and getting a lot of farm in the mid lane, a lot of pressure, despite the fact they didn't secure the dragon. It's pretty good, looking good for the mid lane right now.
Yeah, I think that the fact that they were able to secure the dragon with the play that was going on in the top lane is really important.
Oh, we got a gank up here. The seismic shove is gonna go wide. The dash. Kled gets out by the skin of his teeth there. Barely, well, not barely. It was pretty safe. I'd say Kled was pretty safe there, but yeah, at least good opportunity to try and get something done on the top side. Just going back into the jungle, living the life.
Yeah, trying to. Oh wait, again.
Oh, we got
ultimate now.
Yeah, Tryndamere spinning in. He's got ultimate. You gotta be scared now. Tryndamere can't die. We won't hope. Well, he can't die for 6 seconds.
Yeah, he can. It's just how long are you able to fight against him to kill him? But I think that's going to be important because at least it will be enough time for him to be able to retreat in case something bad happens, or to try and chase a kill to at least secure a 1-for-1. So I think that level 6 power spike from the Tryndamere is going to be really, really important. And also it can set up for ganks from the Talia to try and get and support you in case something goes bad because of her Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have that Tryndamere has this tool, and it's part of the reason why he's Tryndamere. He's that champion. The one. Nobody really likes to play against this champion, just in general. But now that he's good, it's just unfortunate that you still have to deal with the Tryndamere ulti. And meanwhile, we got a spin here. I thought that was an ignite. That wasn't. Ooh, a trade going back. The bear trap on a rope. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, we have a great gank. The dash over the wall. Arvy's going to try and trade back as he can. The Emperor's Divide puts him to safety, and now he's able to reconvene with his team. The True Shot Barrage goes wide.
Oh, here comes Kled as well.
Oh, but here comes Kled charging in. Neon Sonic doesn't have a lot of tools to try and get out of here. Kled's going to chop him down. Now Arvy's going over the wall. Kled's going to try and chop up Tryndamere. Tryndamere's ulting. He's going to try and get that last auto. He gets the spin in. He gets the heal. He's going to try and take down Chaggins now, but Chaggins got a lot of space. He's going to take down the Tryndamere in response. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Leona's 1v2. This is just like I expected, of course. Leona's the best character in the game. Wait, level 6 on the Misfortune, but she has no mana. Now Ezreal's going to try and get that last auto attack. He's getting a little far forward, and there's so many minions on the side of the Gothic Knights. The Pulverize Headbutt combo. Arby's going to be looking to try and get something done here, but whew. A lot of things happening, and I think one person died. Well, I don't know how. It was just
3 persons died.
3 people died.
Yeah.
2 people died. Okay, that's exactly how many people died.
It was Talia, Xinjiao, Tryndamere all died.
Oh right, Tryndamere killed someone. I forgot Tryndamere killed someone. I was just amazed that Tryndamere was alive.
In the fight? Yeah.
It's amazing he was alive.
I'm more amazed in the bottom lane because of we saw what happened in the mid lane. Really great trade, really great attempt by the side of Adrian College. I think that the mid lane play could have been just way better executed. I think that they went a little bit too crazy on how the ultimates were placed, especially the Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, you don't want to shuffle somebody into safety. That's not a great idea.
in that fight, it wasn't really needed, realistically. You
No.
are getting the kill. I think they were scared because they saw the Weaver's wall, but I
Yeah.
think that the kill was so easy to secure, and they just kind of overcommitted instead of just getting the kill, and that's why it took longer, but they still got the trade in their favor. On the
Yeah.
bottom side, though, I think they tried to dive onto the Misfortune or tried to put pressure onto the Misfortune, and the Leona was able to set up for a great ultimate because Misfortune ultimate was down, and it almost was a 1-for-1 or even a 2-for-0.
Yeah, that's the kind of the power of the Misfortune and Leona combo. Is even if you get onto Misfortune, if Leona gets the lockup, you can just tear people apart. And Trinimir's going to be looking to go on for a fight here, shouting, making Xinjiao look like a chicken right here. Arvy's going to get some trade here. Some rocks hitting Xinjiao's back, but he's just going to be able to walk away here. Arvy's going to dash back.
Meanwhile,
Taking a bit of damage, getting forced out of his jungle, but not so bad. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Kled's getting a lot of plates up.
yeah, the Drake is going down, and I think that's the only correct play that they can do, especially because they committed so many people down here. But oh wait,
we got Trinimir. Trinimir's flanking in. He's gonna get the fearing shout onto the people. Arvy landing in a fantastic ultimate here. The Weaver's Wall gonna go down, block off Alistar's escape. Now we have Leona blocking down the Azir. Chagins getting shot down by the bullet time, having to flash away to escape. Now they're gonna be they're on the back foot here, trying to get out. But on the top side of the map, Kled's gonna be securing the first tower of the game.
Yeah, and once again, meanwhile on the top lane, it's Kled just pushing lane, trying to get something down there. I'm surprised that the Ezreal and the Alistar tried to put pressure onto the Drake, knowing that it was a 5 against 4. Kled doesn't have teleport, so he cannot support the fight. But luckily, they just lose the cow. They didn't lose that much, and they get a first turret in the top lane, 5 plates apart from that. And they also they were also able to dissuade almost anything bad happening in the bot lane. So overall, I think it's an important win for Adrian College, even though they lose the Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. But because they lost the Drake, now there is the possibility of getting the 4 Drakes. Oh wait, it's a cloud map. Okay, we have a cloud map.
It's not that bad though.
It's not that bad. You don't because to lower Trinimir cooldown ultimate, that's not bad. Misfortune ultimate. There's a lot of ultimates that benefit from the reduced cooldown. So even if it's not amazing, it's not going to change my life. It's not bad if they pick up the cloud Drakes.
Yeah, but obviously you begin to think in the semantics of, but if it was a mountain soul, then you pretty much can win the game. So yeah, those kind of things are sad, but at least I think that it's a possible win condition. And also I think that it's something that they will be able to use to buy themselves time, because now they don't need to worry about giving up to Drakes. I think that's a really important thing, especially if the Elder becomes a win condition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the trade wasn't incredible for the Gothic Knights, but they have a way to win the game, which is more than they had last game. So they're improving, even just in the series. We've seen that the baby steps. They're improving their mindset and their theory on the game. Meanwhile, Talia's going to get caught out by the bear trap on a rope, doesn't get pulled back. Meanwhile, Trinimir has a flank angle. The seismic shove going to pull Kled back. The ultimate from the Yone is going to pull him in. The Emperor's Divide shuffles Arvy into the waiting arms of Adrian College. And now Azir, the Emperor, has decreed that everybody must run. And 1 kill over to Adrian College.
Really good divide.
Really good Emperor's Divide. Absolutely.
Yeah, trading now places. I think that important win for the side, and it was on a collapse that was supposed to kill, first of all, the Kled. They were collapsing onto the Kled, but they were able to just run away far enough that it didn't matter. Now they're collecting this turret in the mid lane. And quick thing, I really like what Gecko has been doing. He got the turrets in the top lane, and he immediately left that lane and began supporting the rest of the map, just as the Tryndamere has been doing, but getting the turret gold, which is much better.
Absolutely. Utilizing that ultimate, utilizing that. Azir's going over the wall, getting a ton of damage down. The 6 going to have to really dodge out of here. The True Shot Barrage will take down the Misfortune. Now Leona's in danger. Going to try and escape here, but the stab and the 3 Talon Strike going to come in, secure the kill for Xinjiao. The Seismic Shove going to try and pull people back, but they're just going to have to disengage here. 2 kills for Adrian College once again, and now they're looking to take this bottom tower.
Gecko just TP'd into the mid lane to even protect that turret. So not only getting everything, but not giving anything away.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. You want to get as much as you can without losing everything. And it's looking like, compared to last game where the towers are relatively even, it's been Gothic Knights have been struggling to find the major objectives aside from the dragons.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem with their composition. We talked about how good their composition can be with a lead, but the fact is that they don't have any lead anywhere. The Tryndamere lost top lane, the mid lane, even though it started well, it didn't really pan out that well either. And the Talia couldn't really use the first blood that she got to impact much more the map, which means that realistically they didn't get that much anywhere else, and that means that their composition slowly but surely has been falling out of power, and that's
Yeah.
something really, really bad for them.
Yeah, especially because as the game goes on, the Azir is going to get stronger and the Ezreal's going to get stronger, and you lose sort of that power. Meanwhile, we got a pick on RV. He's going a little too far forward. He was trying to get something done in the mid lane, but what's going to happen is he's going to get caught down and shot by the Englishman with the Mystic Shot taking him down. Just a free kill. RV's out a little too far.
Ooh.
Oh, we got a seismic shove here, pulling in the Alistar, a full combo in
good
from
kill.
the Leona. Leona does take the kill, unfortunately. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Gecko is looking to try and run down Carlos. Carlos gonna have to ghost out of here to avoid getting chomped by Skarl and Kled. So
Yeah, the ghost diff, being able to save
that's
their
the power of the
Tryndamere.
ghost, as we expected, exactly. Yeah, but a kill over to the Gothic Knights. Not the end. Not bad.
What?
I mean, not great. Not what? Did some? I'm looking. Oh,
No,
Azir flashed.
nothing happened. No, nothing
Sorry.
happened.
No,
It's fine,
no,
it's fine,
nobody
it's fine,
flashed, especially
Yeah,
not
it's
Shakens.
fine.
No, nobody flashed. Nobody. It wasn't
It's
anybody.
fine. Nothing
That
happened.
flash of light you saw, that was a graphical error.
Yeah.
Email Riot Games to tell them about this horrendous incident. Thank you.
But on the other side, great pick onto the Alistar. I really like that they at least. Oh wait.
Oh, we got a pick here. Chagins going
Yone.
in, finding the kill. RV out a little too far. Now Smirkin's looking to get some pressure on here, but he might be a little too far
the
himself,
ultimate.
trying to zone out as much as possible. But the ultimate is going to be really good. The Misfortune ultimate hits nobody. Now Zinchao's got a perfect eye on the back line. Going to be able to force Misfortune out as Azir goes over the wall. Zinchao runs down their back line, and now Tryndamere is all alone, trying to avoid getting pounded by the cow. 4 kills over for the side of Adrian College, and the first Cloud Drake of the game.
Yeah, and the worst thing out of all that is the fact that it was a 5v4 in favor of the Knights, and they lost this. That's really, really bad. Because now, realistically, I don't think they have any strong point in the map, and they can just get ran over at any moment. Like we see this fight with a Kled. That fight is way, way worse. I don't think nobody survives, and this can just become much, much, much harder for the side of the Knights. And there's no real answer that they can have, unless they are able to make this game go 30 minutes, which I'm not sure if they can.
Yeah, the Adrian College is accelerating really, really fast. Kled's trying to get a trade of top lane. He might just kill. Oh, Tryndamere does not have ultimate. He's gonna be in danger. He's gonna hug his turret. Managed to live for right now while Kled waits. Uses Shirley. He's gonna. Oh, this is bad. You don't want to be Tryndamere here, but Gecko might be a little too far out. The Zenith Blade does not quite land. RV's going to get a slowdown. The Seismic Shove goes wide. Ignite goes down onto Gecko. Gecko gets taken down, but RV has found people who are not friendly. You're going to have to ulti out of that one. Zinchao goes a little too far with the dash there. He's in a bad spot. Potentially, Misfortune secures that one. Now Alistar's a little too far forward. Gets CC'd to death. And despite losing the tower, Gothic Knights managed to pull a few kills back there, and they could be looking for more.
Yeah, it's thanks to the complete disrespect from the side of Adrian College that they are now able to maybe look into getting kills. They can get
the rain of bullets going to go down. Shagan's going to have to take a big shuffle out of there to avoid getting killed.
Man, that was close.
That was a close one. You're sweating a little bit as you're there. You look at the Leona with their glowing shield, and you're just like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it could have been way worse, but yeah, luckily he's able to run away. Nothing bad happens, and it means that the side of the Knights are able to get a little bit of a shutdown back. They are able to come back well enough, or not come back, but get gold back. And I think that's really important for them because, like I say, they need to make this game longer. Longer.
They got a little bit of breathing room, and that's incredibly important for them because Tryndamere still doesn't have a mythic. Yone doesn't have a mythic either. Neither of them have hit the point where they're really dangerous. So they need to just like delay and hold out.
Yeah.
Get some farm, slow the game down, and try and look for opportunities when they arise. And wait, they have to wait for Adrian College to misstep, but I mean, Adrian College is delivering.
Yeah, it's something doable. So
It-
they need to buy their and I think I said this before in the pre-draft. They need to buy their time. They need to understand when they can go and when they can't. That was so much damage. They need to
Yeah.
understand the moments that the moments that they can use to try and get advantages, and then take full advantage of that. But they cannot just walk in blindly like they have been doing most of the game. But like what they did in the top lane, they knew where the Kled was positioned. They knew where the rest of the members were positioned, and they had vision in their jungle, which means that they could collapse, get the kills, and then not die in the process, which I think is the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. True Shot Barrage doing quite a bit of poke here.
Oh.
Army may have found a pick here, getting knocked back by the Alistar, but does get a little bit of damage out on the Ezreal. Meanwhile, unfortunately, the Gothic Knights are losing their buffs and their jungle, but that's sort of just been happening the whole game.
Yeah,
At least right now, it's while they've had pressure here. A little bit of poke coming out, posturing around. The dragon will be up in like a minute 30. A minute. I didn't quite catch the timer. But Trinamir getting a shout out, hits a number of people, slows them down. The Yoneo's gonna
low, though.
barely tickle Xin Zhao's backside. Xin Zhao manages to dodge out of that one, but Trinimir's still going. He's not afraid. Pops the ultimate a little too early, and now Trinamir doesn't have any of that safety. And Alistar goes in, but they secure 2 kills on Adrian
here
College.
comes Kled.
Oh, and here comes Kled charging in. The
even
shuffle sends the Gothic Knights to their deaths. A clean ace.
Great team fight by the side of Adrian College. They fought that so well. They first tried to disengage, but made them commit way too hard, which the side of the Knights end up doing. But because they commit so hard, it was so easy, not only first of all for the Kled to get the turret down in the bot lane, but also to then come in with the ultimate. And it's been so funny to me how the Tryndamere has been doing what the Kled should do, and the Kled has been doing what the Tryndamere should do. Like, I don't think we've seen Tryndamere at any point in this game trying to side lane or go for turrets.
Yeah, no, we have not seen that. But I mean, Tryndamere also hasn't had a lot of space to go out and and run at turrets, to be fair. But he should try and team should try and make that space, or he should look for opportunities, or he should just, do it like they do in solo queue and mute all and click top lane.
Run to the side lane.
Meanwhile, clicking top lane, Carlos is right-clicking the Englishman. Gonna have to force flash here, but a good engage by the Alistar will just take the Tryndamere down. Carlos a little too far forward, and Talia might have gotten caught out here. Homeless finds a great stab into the 3 Talon strike, getting a free kill on Neon Sonic, and another Drake secured by Adrian College.
Yeah, just as in the top lane, they kill the Tryndamere alone. They get the dragon
and
as well.
RV, what are you doing, mate? Oh, okay, he's fine. He's Yone.
But Chris?
Leona, Chris Dace is not Yone and did not get out of that one. And Yone is not Yone. He's also dead. This was tragedy in the base of the Gothic Knights, as Adrian College is likely going to look, maybe not necessarily to end the game, but maybe to at least get all 3 inhibs. Flash out from Gecko.
I think they can look to win the game, actually. I think they have
enough It's possible. They're going to have to try and... Gothic Knights are going to try and do their best to wave clear. They do have the Talia, and they do have the Misfortune. They can do their best, but Azir is just pushing on the bot side. They're getting pressured under their Nexus turrets by Ezreal and Kled and Alistar, and Xin Zhao is going to be coming back with full HP. They're going to back out. They secure every single inhib, and it's looking dire for the Gothic Knights.
Yeah, it's just like you say. They wanted much more to control, to just get inhibitors, put the pressure there, and then be able to finish the game when they want. They can go for the Baron right now, get that Baron, and then win the game after that. They can just reset it and then win the game after that. It just feels like there's the side of Adrian College can do whatever they want, and they can end up winning.
So, and the Gothic Knights, they have to... once again, they're praying for more than a miracle here to try and secure this victory, as... The Adrian College has started taking the Purple Worm, and it looks like there's going to be no contest here from anybody on the Gothic Knights, and that's just going to be a free Baron over to Adrian College. And you have to think, this is it. It's time to start packing your bags. It's just not looking so great.
Yeah, I think we're closer to the edge of the game, to the end of the game, pretty much. I think that this just feels really... No, I don't want to say unwinnable, because obviously there's always human mistakes and things like that, but it just feels so hard that it can happen. Yeah,
you're hoping for literally everything to go wrong on the side of Adrian College, and that sort of possibility is very, very slim. And it's basically no hope, but what you can start looking at for the Gothic Knights is like, what can we learn from this game, and what have we
From
seen,
this
what
series.
works, what doesn't work, what have we learned from the series. But right now we still got to end.
Ooh.
They still got to finish the series first. Kled's going to be charging in the Weaver's Wall, going to try and block
Oh,
off people.
no.
They all get through before it goes down. The 6th is taken down. Arvy's going to try and do as much as he can, but he's got no damage. He's got nothing. Christe's going to be going in and getting taken down. The Yone's going to do his best. But there's so much damage on the side of Adrian College. They're just fountain farming the entirety, and there goes the shuffle to just humiliate them. And that's going to be the end of the game. The Gothic Knights are taken down as Adrian College picks up the 2-0 victory for this week's match.
Yeah, two really great played, really well played games by Adrian College, controlling the pace of the game consistently, trying to make plays around the map. I think this game, their vision control wasn't as good as in the first game that I really liked, but I feel like as soon as they got a lead, they never let go. And their composition, which was less built around leads, like the Knights' composition, it just was much stronger, because as soon as the Knights' composition fell down, it was really, really hard for them to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got that early kill. They got at least a little bit done in the early game. They just weren't able to convert anything, especially because like the Tryndamere fell apart in the top lane, and Gecko played really well on the Kled and
It's his main, right?
Yeah, it's his main. A lot of Kled. So not surprising to see that, but very good control by Adrian College, but still it's just the start of the season. This is the very first match, and with a new roster, the goal is to learn. Not necessarily the winning is great. Who doesn't like to win?
Yeah.
But the goal is to learn more so than win. Or I guess
that is certainly the case.
they're equal level. I wouldn't say more so. You still want to win, but yeah, they're learning quite a bit, and there's a lot they can take away from this game because of how well Adrian College played around the map, how well they moved as a team, how they utilized their ultimates like the Kleddle to make things happen around the map, where that's what you see from a more experienced roster. And as these players get more experience for the Gothic Knights, they can start picking up these things and maybe pick up some more champs. And see that.
I just want to say that's one of the most important things. Picking up things so that you can employ them later on. And I love that you make the focus on this. It's the first game of the season. Yes, it's sad that you lose, but realistically, the season isn't defined in the first 3 matches. So this is the most important point for you to learn from everything every mistake that you make, from every loss that you get, and use it to move on forward. The first 3 matches are the most meaningless matches, in my opinion, not because it's not good to win, but because realistically it's not what it's keeping you away from the next stage later on in the season.
Yeah, everybody's out there learning what the other teams are doing, learning what they can play on the patch, adjusting to working with new teams, especially in the start of a new semester for these colleges, figuring out what they can play, how they can play it, and once the season gets going, for real, we can start to see for real what these teams are capable of. And it's not the end of the Gothic Knights it's not the end for the Gothic Knights. It is just the start. And I expect that next week they'll hit the books. They're looking to see what they can do to improve and put on a better show next week.
Yeah, it's always a learning experience. So I'm really excited to see what the future brings for this team. I really want to see what they try to play around with, what they try and learn from. Obviously, watching pro play is always nice to try and learn more things. But first of all, it's trying to get more accustomed to the game. You brought up that there are newer players in the team. They need to still understand how to play around with this game, how to improve in the game. So obviously, everything will need to be taken into consideration, and I'm really excited to see what they become later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adrian College, great start. They did exactly what they needed to start the season. They won 2 games, and they flexed some picks. They played pretty standard, nothing too spicy, but fairly solid start, and it sets them up well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, certainly it's a good start. It's a good way to start a season, like you say. Obviously, like I say a couple of minutes ago, the first 3 games are probably the most meaningless, but it's good that you win because those can be safety measures in case something really bad goes on later on. So at least you have those first 3 wins if you end up winning those. So really good start, really nice way to start, and certainly playing not methodical standard League of Legends, and maybe we see something much more spicy later on in the season from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that will close out our cast for today's matches. For the latest updates on NJCU's esports news, you can find NJCU esports on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you're interested in helping with events, are looking for scrims, or are interested in trying out for a varsity team, reach out through the NJCU esports Discord. And be sure to tune in on Monday at 6:30 p.m. EST to see your Gothic Knights matchup against the Fanshawe College Falcons for their Week 2 Valorant matchup. Later that night, look out for Smash Ultimate matchups and score reports on socials. After 2 undefeated seasons at a Fall 2020 championship, NJCU is looking to push the next levels of Smash and showcase their dominance once again. All right, I have been your play-by-play caster, Tanner Becky Rita Kinney, with my co-caster.
TDS, it was a huge pleasure being today with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time. It was a great cast, I feel, and
Yeah.
some good matches. And we'll see you in the next broadcast. Thank you all for watching.